Have you ever pondered the subtle art of connecting with an older woman on a deeper level? It's not merely about physical touch but understanding the nuances that foster emotional intimacy and trust. In this exploration, we'll delve into 7 key areas that, when approached with respect and sensitivity, can enhance your bond profoundly. But remember, it's the intention and authenticity behind these gestures that truly matter. Before we embark on this journey, I encourage you to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your insights enrich our collective understanding. And if you stay with me until the end, comment, "I stayed until the end." 1. The lower back, a subtle yet profound gesture of support. The lower back is a fascinating area when it comes to human touch and connection. Unlike other parts of the body that may be associated with overt displays of affection, the lower back carries a deeper, more nuanced meaning. It is a place where physical contact can seamlessly merge with emotional reassurance. When you place your hand gently on a woman's lower back, you are not just making physical contact, you are sending a silent but powerful message: I am here with you. You are not alone. This kind of touch is subtle, almost imperceptible to others, yet it has the ability to foster a deep sense of connection and trust. The psychology behind the gesture. The lower back is a midpoint between the upper and lower body, meaning it provides a sense of grounding and balance. When someone places a reassuring hand here, it can create a feeling of stability and safety, an unspoken affirmation that they are present and attentive. Imagine walking through a crowded street, a busy shopping mall, or even just maneuvering through an unfamiliar place together. By resting your hand lightly on her lower back, you are guiding her with a sense of ease, showing care without being intrusive. Unlike grabbing a hand, which might feel controlling, this gesture is far more natural and protective without diminishing her independence. In certain situations, such as when crossing a street or moving through a crowd, a gentle yet confident touch on the lower back can serve as a nonverbal form of leadership and reassurance. It says, "I've got you. You're safe with me." This type of touch, when done respectfully and at the right moment, can make a woman feel deeply valued and protected. When and how to use this gesture. 1. In a crowded or unfamiliar place, lightly resting your hand on her lower back while walking together can create a feeling of connection and security. 2. During an intimate conversation, a slow, reassuring touch in this area while speaking softly can create an unspoken bond of trust. 3. As an unspoken sign of support, if she seems anxious or distracted, a gentle touch can silently convey, "I'm here for you." However, it's crucial to read the situation carefully. This gesture should never feel forced or unexpected. Consent and comfort are key. If done correctly, it can create a moment of quiet intimacy that words often fail to capture. 2. The nape of the neck, the gateway to intimacy and trust. The nape of the neck is one of the most sensitive and overlooked areas of the body. While it may not be the first place people think of when it comes to touch, it holds an incredible power when approached with care and intention. The back of the neck is where physical and emotional sensations intertwine. It is a delicate, almost sacred space, one that, when touched gently, can send a wave of warmth and connection through the body. Why is the nape so special? From a physiological perspective, the nape of the neck contains a high concentration of nerve endings, making it particularly sensitive to touch. This is why even the lightest contact, a slow, deliberate caress or the soft brush of fingers, can create an instant sense of closeness and vulnerability. From an emotional standpoint, this area is linked to trust. When someone allows another person to touch the nape of their neck, it is often a sign that they feel safe and comfortable in their presence. It is a space that, throughout history, has been associated with affection, tenderness, and even devotion. How to use this gesture thoughtfully. 1. A light touch. If you're standing close during a quiet conversation, a soft brush along the nape with the back of your fingers can create an almost electric moment of connection. 2. A gentle caress. When sharing an intimate embrace, running your fingers gently along the back of her neck can evoke a sense of warmth and trust. 3. A moment of reassurance. If she seems tense or stressed, softly placing your hand at the nape, just for a second, can be incredibly soothing. The power of subtlety. Because the nape of the neck is such a sensitive area, a less is more approach is key. The right touch, at the right time, can be profoundly intimate without feeling overwhelming. Unlike other forms of touch that may feel deliberate, a gentle caress at the nape often feels instinctual and deeply personal. When done respectfully and with the right level of awareness, this simple yet powerful gesture can create a moment that lingers, not just on the skin, but in the memory. 3. The arms, a subtle but powerful expression of connection. The arms are among the most expressive parts of the body. Whether it's a warm hug, an excited wave, or a reassuring pat, we use our arms to communicate emotions just as much as we do with words. This makes them a natural and accessible point of connection when building intimacy. A light touch on her arm during a conversation is a simple yet meaningful gesture that can convey warmth, attentiveness, and emotional presence. Unlike more intimate areas, the arms are a neutral yet effective place for initiating physical connection in a comfortable, non-intrusive way. Why is this gesture so impactful? It reinforces engagement. A gentle touch on the arm while talking emphasizes that you're truly present in the moment, actively listening, and valuing her words. It bridges the gap between words and emotions. Sometimes, words alone aren't enough to convey sincerity. A well-placed touch can add depth to your expression of empathy or excitement. It creates a sense of familiarity, even in casual interactions. This subtle gesture fosters a feeling of comfort and connection. When and how to use this gesture effectively. 1. During a meaningful conversation, if she shares a personal story or an emotional moment, lightly resting your hand on her forearm for a brief second can provide silent support. 2. To emphasize a point, a subtle tap on the arm when making a joke or expressing enthusiasm helps reinforce engagement and playfulness. 3. As a reassuring gesture, if she seems nervous or uncertain, a gentle squeeze on the arm can silently say, "You've got this. I'm here with you." It's important to be mindful of context and comfort. If she responds positively, leaning in slightly or maintaining the connection, it's a sign that she welcomes the gesture. However, always pay attention to body language to ensure the touch is appreciated. 4. The knees, a unique yet comforting gesture. While the knee might seem like an unconventional area to touch, it carries a unique sense of closeness and reassurance when done thoughtfully. Unlike the arms, which are used openly for gestures, or the lower back, which signals protection, the knees are more private and personal, making this touch particularly intimate. A gentle touch on the knee is often associated with shared moments of quiet understanding. It's the kind of gesture that speaks volumes without the need for words, whether it's a silent display of support, a playful nudge, or a brief moment of closeness. Why does this gesture work? It conveys solidarity. A light touch on the knee can say, "I'm here for you," especially during deep conversations or moments of emotional vulnerability. It strengthens a sense of trust, because the knees are not often touched outside of intimate settings. A gentle touch here, when welcomed, can enhance the feeling of emotional closeness. It adds an element of playfulness, A subtle nudge or tap on the knee in response to a joke or shared laughter can create a light-hearted, flirtatious dynamic. When and how to use this gesture respectfully. 1. When seated next to each other, if you're engaged in a deep conversation, briefly placing your hand on her knee can offer reassurance. 2. During a quiet moment, whether watching a movie together or simply sitting in a peaceful setting, a brief, light touch can establish a comforting presence. 3. Playful interaction. A quick tap on the knee in response to a joke or teasing comment can add a sense of fun and lightheartedness. It's crucial to be attuned to her comfort level. Since the knees are a more personal space, this gesture should always be approached with awareness and respect. 5. The waist, a delicate balance of affection and respect. The waist is one of the most sensitive and intimate areas of the body when it comes to physical connection. Unlike the arms or hands, which are more neutral in nature, the waist carries a sense of closeness, protection, and admiration. A well-timed touch on the waist, whether during a dance, an embrace, or a moment of affection, can heighten emotional connection without feeling overwhelming. However, because of its inherently personal nature, this gesture must always be gentle, respectful, and well received. Why is the waist so significant? It fosters a sense of unity. Holding someone by the waist, even briefly, creates a natural sense of closeness and synchrony, especially during activities like dancing or walking together. It conveys admiration and care. A gentle touch at the waist can communicate appreciation and tenderness without needing words. It provides a feeling of protection, in situations where physical closeness is natural, like guiding her through a crowded space. A hand on the waist offers both security and connection. When and how to use this gesture appropriately. 1. During a casual embrace, resting your hands on her waist while hugging can make the moment feel warmer and more intimate. 2. While dancing or moving together, a hand on the waist while guiding her through a dance naturally builds a sense of rhythm and closeness. 3. In a protective, reassuring way, when navigating through a busy area, a light touch on the waist can be a nonverbal cue of guidance and presence. Because the waist is a more intimate area, this gesture should never feel possessive or intrusive. Instead, it should always be soft, considerate, and welcome. 6. The hands, a timeless gesture of affection and connection. The hands are one of the most expressive parts of the human body, capable of communicating emotions that words often fail to capture. A simple touch, a lingering brush of fingers, or the warmth of an intertwined grip can speak volumes about care, affection, and trust. Holding hands is a gesture that transcends cultural and generational boundaries. Whether it's the comforting grasp of a lifelong partner, the playful intertwining of fingers in a new romance, or the gentle squeeze that says, "I'm here with you," this simple act reinforces emotional security and connection. Why is hand-holding so powerful? It signifies presence and support. A gentle handhold conveys the silent message, "You're not alone. I'm with you." This is particularly meaningful in moments of uncertainty or emotional vulnerability. It enhances emotional intimacy. Hands have a deep nerve connection to the heart, making a touch here naturally evoke warmth and closeness. It expresses affection without words, whether through a light stroke on the back of the hand or a reassuring squeeze. This gesture is universally understood as a sign of fondness. Ways to incorporate hand touches naturally. 1. A light, fleeting brush, gently brushing your fingers against hers, whether accidentally or intentionally, can introduce a subtle yet meaningful form of connection. 2. Intertwining fingers, holding hands with fingers interlocked creates a stronger bond, symbolizing trust, unity, and shared experiences. 3. A reassuring squeeze, In moments of laughter, deep conversation, or even silence, a gentle squeeze on her hand can subtly communicate appreciation and connection. 4. Running your thumb over her hand, a slow, comforting stroke across the back of her hand or fingers enhances the sense of closeness in a natural way. 7. The wrists, a hidden pathway to deep connection. The inner wrist is one of the most sensitive areas of the body, often overlooked yet deeply responsive to touch. With its delicate skin and proximity to vital pulse points, a light caress here can evoke a sense of intimacy, trust, and emotional depth. Touching the wrist is more subtle than holding hands but can be just as meaningful. Because this area is rarely touched outside of personal relationships, a well-timed, gentle contact on the wrist can send a strong yet understated message of affection and attention. What makes this gesture special? It is uniquely intimate. Unlike hands, which are commonly touched in social interactions, the wrist is a more private and personal space, making contact here feel more intentional and meaningful. It draws attention to presence. A soft touch on the wrist can bring awareness to the moment, grounding both individuals in a shared experience. It can be both comforting and subtly romantic, depending on the context. A brief touch on the wrist can be either reassuring or gently flirtatious. Ways to use this gesture thoughtfully. 1. A soft hold. Lightly holding her wrist for a second during a conversation can subtly express warmth and attentiveness. 2. A gentle caress. Running your fingers lightly along her wrist, especially when paired with eye contact, can create a moment of quiet intimacy. 3. A playful tug. If you're guiding her somewhere or pulling her into a dance, a gentle pull on the wrist can add an element of playful connection. 4. A supportive touch. If she seems nervous or deep in thought, lightly placing your hand on her wrist can provide reassurance without feeling overbearing. Final thoughts. The key to meaningful touch is respect and awareness. Physical touch, when done with genuine care and sensitivity, has the power to strengthen connections and deepen emotional bonds. Whether it's the timeless comfort of holding hands or the delicate intimacy of a wrist touch, the key lies in being attuned to her comfort, boundaries, and response. As you explore these gestures, remember that authenticity is the foundation of true connection. Touch should never feel forced or strategic. It should be natural, meaningful, and reflective of mutual trust. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these gestures do you find most meaningful in your personal experiences? Have you ever had a moment where a simple touch spoke louder than words? Share your thoughts and stories in the comments below. If you've journeyed with me to this point, let us know by commenting. I stayed until the end, smiling face with smiling eyes.